Hello, hello, lovely people of LinkedIn and YouTube. So recently, we started streaming this LinkedIn Live to YouTube as well. So if you want to check the replay and it's easier for you to watch it on YouTube, or you want to get some of the old interviews, you can just go to my YouTube channel, Fail Coach, and watch it there. But yeah, happy Monday, everybody. Time for another LinkedIn Live interview. And it is such a pleasure to have Rok here with me, another fellow Slovenian. Well, in 2020, I think we had 4 or 5 people from Slovenia on the LinkedIn Live. But yeah, you will be the last one for this year. So without me going into too much random rambling, Rok, welcome to the show. And please tell us a little bit about yourself. Introduce yourself to the audience.
Okay, thank you, Micha, for having me. It was a great pleasure speaking to you. I think it was one month or 2 months ago.
Something
And
like that.
yeah. And I was really grateful for your call or for your speak because I was kind of I lost a bit of my track or how I went with my life and when I heard you that this LinkedIn content helped you, I was really like you give me a big spark of like, okay, it was worth it. It was worth of doing and writing, and it was not for nothing. So yeah, thank you from my side. So a bit of introduction from my side. I'm pretty simple, and I'm always trying to be more simple because I think the life is already enough complex enough. So being on the other part of complexity is, I think, where I wish to be, or I'm going to that point. That's one side of me, and another side of me is always trying to learn more about myself and just kind of not educate myself, but to know myself. That's the main goal, and that means through learning, through business, through life, through experiences, and through relationships. Yeah, and that's it. So whatever I'm going through, that's something I learn and try to be better at that in later stage of the life.
Perfect. Well, yeah, now that you mentioned it, I don't know how many years ago that was, but I saw an article that you posted back then because you were helping the company in Ljubljana, OptiWeb. And
Scofield.
actually, Micha was also interviewed here on the LinkedIn Live quite a few months ago. Um, and it reminded me of that article and how it changed a whole lot of how I do what I do because you were talking how you fired yourself from that company, from running certain things in that company by putting systems and processes in place and so on. And I mean, it sounded just so amazing, and I want that as well, and that led me down a lengthy path of discovery of systems and processes and other ways to run business that were quite unknown to me before. So yeah, my life has changed a lot, a whole lot since I read that article, and it was just, I guess, the spark that I needed at that time. So I will forever be grateful for you for publishing that article. I have no idea how I even came across that article. Probably somebody in my network shared it with me. But yeah, it created a huge impact on me and how I view entrepreneurship. So it's really a great honor to have you today here to be able to do this interview because how much influence that one single thing had in how my life developed in the recent I don't know how many years, but this was like really a long time ago when I saw that article. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, let's start a little bit with your story, a little bit with what was going on in your life, how were you dealing with things, and with all that negativity hit and so on. Like, how did you come to that point where you went back to the basis?
To be simple as possible. Oh yeah, and about the video, I was watching that video. You had interview with the Micha. See, he's a great guy, and I have amazing memories on Optet. I'm so grateful for that time. I think that's the most working team I've ever worked with. They were like the best racing horses somebody could wish, and winning the games with them was super easy. So yeah, that was good times, sweet times. So I think I was always interested in money, and I know my father loves money. He was counting money like in the evening. He was like having a wallet, and then we were counting monies, and I'm super grateful for that because I had the money in my hands. I couldn't get it because he said, look, you have to get it on your own, but you can count my money, you can get sense of it. So I'm really grateful for that. And I was always looking for like, okay, what can I sell? What can I buy? What can I do? And I was selling CD keys, and like when I was 16, I think. And I think we opened a company with my friend Matej. We didn't know what taxes is. We were like going to the accounting. We said, well, we have to pay more. Well, why do we have to pay taxes? We were like, what is this? And I was having like I was geek, so I was kind of training. For example, on Saturday in the morning, I was training Call of Duty 2 how to throw grenades, and I was starting to selling the server, so like where you could play your dedicated games with the other clans and so on. And that path led me to e-commerce, creating Splitni Systemi. But as you said, um, this was driven by money, by kind of, okay, I want to be big, important, or whatever. But the underline of me was also scared. Like I was fueled by fear. Like I have to survive. How can I survive? Blah 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 blah. And and that's why I wanted some kind of a security, and I think that's normal. And with that security in mind, business felt like a chaos to me. So I always tried to listen to everybody and then analyze and systemize. And this is how I went with the process. And this is how I went through my companies, other companies, and it worked well. Like you said, listen, analyze, and then systemize, making every process perfect. It was the same in OptiWeb. If we relate to that article, it was always just listening, analyzing at home, reading the books, going to the hills, going to the forest, thinking about new ideas, and then coming back, systemize, and that's it. Just repeat, sleep, repeat. But um, at one point, I realized that the more the business is systemized, everything is okay. The more fear I feel inside, or more dark I feel inside. So I said, kind of the my way. Let's do it. Let's clear this stuff. And I met a good friend who introduced me to a diet who is called fruit diet. So basically, just fruit. That's it. And this fruit diet is known to kind of clean your body, clean your psychic, and kind of subconscious patterns and so on. So I was doing this for, let's say, 1 year or 1 year and a half, pretty extreme. So I lost a lot of weight, blah blah blah, and I lost a lot of myself, all these negative things. And I said, okay, I did it. Now it's a new life. But it was not that easy. At one point, it was like this cleaning process was just starting when I thought it was ending. So at one point, I was kind of really low on energy. I couldn't think well, and at that point, I said, "Hey, man, just stop. You need to go back to the basis. And I'm super grateful. I think it was in the summer. I called one of my previous bosses and I said, look, I need some basic work. I need to work something simple. And he accepted me. I'm super grateful for that. And also a marketing woman. I don't want to share her name or his name. I don't know if they want to
No,
be
you don't have to.
mentioned.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't
but
have to.
I'm super grateful for because I wasn't in a good state. When a person comes in a meeting, you see he's like, and they were like, okay, I know you from before. I know you're a good guy. Come on, you can work with us. So and then I was back to programming, and I was cleaning the code and stuff like that, and it was fun. But it was like a part of my life when I was doing the easy job, not as it was still complex to me for that energy level, but it wasn't super complex. It was nice to work. I'd had any time limits or project limits. I just need to fix the bugs, which came with the 10 years of development. Fast development, ugly code, blah blah blah, and but the benefit of that was that I had a lower income, and it was, I always read from books like lower your how much you consume or how much expenses you have. It will make you much more like adaptable and blah blah blah, flexible. And I was like, no, I like this new stuff, shiny stuff. I like to buy new stuff. So I always wanted to earn more. Never wanted to go back to the basis. So in this way, I was forced because I didn't have the energy to do any like complex project. And the benefit was that I had time more in the afternoon to work on my inner world. And I'm super thankful that I've encountered on a book that my sister gave me. It's the Day Breitner. It's from a fellow Slovenian guy. He's awesome, and it's how to change your life path. I don't know how to translate. Maybe Miha, you can do it better. Kako spremeniti tok usode.
Oh, how to change the path of your destiny.
Yeah, better. Yeah, definitely better. And I was doing the program, doing the exercising, and getting to know my inner world, and I saw just how much of my daily decisions and life runs from this subconscious. I really went deeper and deeper, and I know there are deeper and deeper layers. It's never ending game. But from when I was before and when I'm now, it was a big step, and I'm thankful for that. And for example, just to give you one example, when I'm in this process, I realized that I had this subconscious belief that when things gets done, you have to go to the next project. Like this is it. You can't enjoy your life. You just have to always go further, further, further. And it's interesting if you see my career back. I was always like 1 year and a half, 2 year maximum, jumping on a new project, jumping on. It's stuff like that. It's like fun to see, to see how much of this subconscious runs my life.
Okay. I mean, very interesting, very interesting. And what are the things that you started doing or that you are doing now that help you to regain that control of the inner world and being less focused on the outside and not having the need to jump from one project to another?
Mm, I think that feeling of security, feeling of connectedness with, or like, I can't say I feel really connected with everything. I still have like things to work on, but the way I trust life is much, much, much better or much more like intimate connection how I see life, and it's much more from thinking like, oh, what will be next, or it's just like a deeper connection and grateful for every moment you have. I know it sounds cliche or something, but kind of I really felt it much more deeper than before. And also, I realized that I can survive even with a lower income, and lowering my, like the last 2 years were really lowering my expenses on everything. Like, do I need a mobile data package for 20 euros? No, I only consume 1 gigabyte mobile data per month. Okay, I can go for 7 euros per month. Do I need the latest phone? No. Do I need the latest car? No. So, pushing every limit back to the basic, where I can live with that good, but not that, I need this more. And with that it came kind of sense of tranquility, because costs are lower, and I have this like freedom to, okay, where I want to go next. I don't like, oh, I have 3,000 expenses per month. It's I need to get this whole project done and successful, and it was interesting. There was one project we were working on this month, and in the middle of the project, everything went like poof. That point, just kind of how it went. It was perfect. How in this one day, I was thinking in one day it can be like poof, everything's like collapses. Like the client comes, he's not happy. You can see that the morale in the team is like, oh, like can we even do this? And I was much more calm, because I said, look, it's nothing to worry about. We have enough money on the bank to pay for, like say, our salaries for through 3 months or 6 months. So we will work through it. In a way, I have confidence that we'll work through it. And I think that really helped me and my teammates, because every time I went for a meeting, I said, look, no problem, we will work on it. And I think they felt that. And I think I think I've learned that also from Micha, because he was always like, "We will do it." He's a doer. So he's like, "Yeah, we'll do it." He'll just keep pushing, and I think that's a good side of it.
I think, I mean, what you open is a very interesting topic. It's really topic of happiness, living a happy life. And I mean, something that I often talk about is that I really believe that there are four forces that really want us to be miserable. So one force is the politics. I mean, if we are happy, we don't care about politics, and then they
That's
can't manipulate us, and they can't get us to be on this side or that side, and so on, because our unhappiness gives them power over us. Now, the
Mhm.
second one is corporations. Um, because if you are happy, you don't need much. You really don't need much. So you have to be unhappy, and then they tell you that, your next, I don't know, Apple laptop will make you happy, and this car will make you happy. So it fuels consumerism. Now, the third one is religion, because if you are happy, you will find God, or whatever energy, universe, however you want to call it, you'll find that within you. You don't need to go to a church or to a mosque or to a temple to, speak to that higher, whatever is out there, however you want to name it. And then the fourth one is media, because that's how they, like, if things are not constantly breaking news, and this is going to hell, and like we live in this dangerous world and so on, well, then you don't watch it. They can't push ads towards you. And when I'm talking about media, I think media in general, so social media, uh, classical media, and so on. And so everything is done in a way that you should feel miserable, because when you're miserable, they can guide you, they have power over you, and you'll give them the money.
Yeah.
Um, but the thing is that happiness comes from inside of you, not the outside of you. And that's the hardest thing, I guess, for people to really understand in the first place. And then it's a journey. It's not something that happens overnight. You don't change everything overnight, because you have to get to know who you truly are. And it's challenging with all that influence from our parents to our friends, through media, the television, the society. Everybody's telling us who we should be, what we should want, how our life should be. And I remember, oh boy, that was like 2012, I think, when I started my inner discovery journey. And I wrote an essay, Micha, and I tried to describe who am I. And it made sense. I got it done fairly quickly. But then there was this one thing that didn't really make sense. And it was a stupid thing, a small, stupid thing. It was just a clash of two things that I wanted. And it was, well, if you want this, you can't have that. And if you want this, then you can't have this. You have to make a choice. And that led me down the path of self discovery and doubting everything, challenging everything that I know about myself, and peeling those layers of
Hmm.
all the outside influence. And yeah, I was like shocked how much the world around me influenced how I
Hmm.
see myself, how I see future, what I think makes me happy. And it took me, I would say, between 6 and 12 months for sure, until I really came close to who I really am.
Hmm.
But then the magical thing happened. The more I'm living in alignment with who I am, the happier I am and the less I need.
Hmm. Interesting.
So, I mean, it sounded to me that, like your explanation was in a way similar to this one.
Yeah. And I think I like what you also said about religion, because I think religion has a great trap inside. You know, when kind of say, okay, this was the material world, or this site, whatever you want. Okay, if I want to be happy, I'm going just way back to that religion side. And then at the religion side, you have to behave like this, or you have to be spiritual or whatever. And this was also my mistake, where when I was starting to be like, I wanted to tell others how to live, because, but this was just a part of me trying to control the outside, if I tell you how to live, and then I feel safe because I have everything under control, or everybody behaves in this way, everything will be fine. But this is again just another way of perception, before through material or success or through money, and then now through religion. And I think living with an alignment with yourself is different for each other. So it's different for me, different for
Yes.
you, and nobody can tell you, because, like I learned from today, Pritner, he said you are the best source of your information. So I can just
Yes.
give you methods how you can access this information, but I can't tell you what to do. It's you
Yeah.
have your
Uh,
own. Mhm.
yeah. You can be somebody's Google map. You can tell them you are here and this is the journey you have to do, but you can't do the journey for them.
Yeah,
And I know it's the hardest thing is to work on yourself. It's so much easier to work on things on the outside, help others,
yeah,
critique others, tell them what to do. It's so easy, and it's so easy to see things clearly because there are no emotions involved. when it comes to you, it's the hardest, it's the
Yeah.
scariest.
Yes.
Everything is clouded because of all the turbulence of everything emotionally happening within you when you face those fears and challenges and your inner demons and so on. It's scary shit.
Yeah.
And it's, I always say to everybody, that's the hardest thing that you will ever do, but it's also the most rewarding thing. There is no other thing in this world that will bring you the return on the investment on what you will invest in working on yourself. And I don't mean just investment in buying courses and stuff, but investment of time and energy and commitment and all of that that goes into it. And yeah, it's the hardest work, but also the most rewarding.
Yeah, I really agree with you. It's most rewarding, and I also wanted to add that that material stuff is nice. I like my car, and we live in a super nice house, and I'm really grateful for that. And I can say that because I've tried really the extreme stuff. Like we went to Portugal for like 3 weeks, staying in. It's like rounded yurta. It's called yurta. It's like
Oh, okay, like
three.
a tent.
Yeah, it's like a tent. Like living there, like the only water was from the river. Like cold water in the summer, and it was really cold in the summer. So there is the point where I realized, look, kids go to school. They have their own, child stuff. They can be with me in a wood. I can close myself from these materials. I open up to this material, but world, and it's nice. I'm super grateful, but it's not the point of happiness. It's just the tool. I need the tool of a
Yeah,
computer to be with you now. And I'm super grateful for that. But before I was like, if I had the best computer and talking to Micha, then I'm a success, and this is it. Then then everything is great. So yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm now finding the balance. So finding the balance in in this material and inside world.
No, I agree. I mean, we are all very different, and um, you know, as long like I have a very good friend back in Slovenia, and I know this guy since high school, um, and he was always madly, deeply in love in BMWs until one day, I think it was in his 30s, he finally bought his first BMW. And for years, every single time when you saw him get into that car, it was love at first sight. Like he was in love with that car. And if
Wow.
that it makes you happy, go
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
Go
Definitely.
for it. But for me, cars never meant shit to me. I've had amazing cars. First few days, all the new buttons and everything, that was amazing. After a few days, it's just a car. So we are all very different. But then, you know, I just recently bought my new Mac M1, the new Apple Silicon Max. It's pure love. That makes me happy. So as long as you find, and one thing that I see a lot in especially on social media and with entrepreneurship in the last few years, that entrepreneurship, being an entrepreneur, is almost turning into Miss Universe contest. Like if you say anything, but my why is world peace and I want to feed all the hungry children. I mean, great if you really want to do that. But then when I work with my clients, I see that there are no emotions when they say that. There's no goosebumps when they say, "Oh, that's my why." And then I challenge them, and then often we find a balance. You want a few little things for yourself. you want to do some good for the community, you want to do some good for your family. And I think at the end of the day, we all are searching for that balance between a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Especially living in our culture, when we need
Yeah,
material stuff, and also
yeah.
money. So money is good, and I like it. I always like to count it, like in my childhood, with my parents, like 100. It was dollars, $10. Like I know this. I don't know what was that. The big one. I think it was red, like $500. I was like, whoa. That's amazing. What do you have in your wallet? And then, in the morning, like snipping there and trying to get like $200 so I can buy a burek in school. I was like, yeah, this is life. This is life.
I know, I know.
Yeah.
Well, Rok,
Yeah.
let's fast forward a little bit
Yeah.
because we are closing down on the
Yeah.
time. So what do you do now? How do you now help others with all the experience and the knowledge that you've gained through this up and down journey of yours?
I think combining the both worlds. I was good before with listening and analyzing, and then putting that into a system. And the second part was I was already doing that, talking to people. But now I have like more in depth in my self knowledge, and I can say that combining that really fuels the results. So first, find out what you really want, or like you said it perfectly before, like peeling off the onion. And then when you hit the core, go for it. Life needs your action. I can't just be here and say I'm super happy and I'm like stoned. No, life changes, and it needs my next action. Um, this is one part of me, and the second part is like the guys who are really interested in personal growth. I'm always up for a call or for a walk. I really like walking on the mountains, forest, and just going deep dive in myself, and in the process taking somebody with me, but not in my process, just showing him how I do my process, and maybe he can follow and say, oh, this is good method, this is bad, this is what I like, this I can incorporate. But yeah, and this is two my biggest passions. And from other points is normally I use my good communication, and currently I lead a team, which is brilliant team for doing some education projects. So a bit of everything currently. We'll
Okay,
see how it
okay,
went from now.
okay. Well, Rok, what is the easiest or the best way for people to find you? I just yesterday discovered when I wanted to tag you in this post that you are no longer on LinkedIn, at least not for now. So
Yeah.
what is the best way for people to reach out to you if they find it valuable, interesting, and they want to talk more and maybe
Yeah.
go for a walk with you?
Yeah, that would be super nice. I'm always available on email, rock@rokmeglic.c, and also the webpage rokmeglic.c has all the contact information. So I'm not hiding from anything, but I just had so many sites that I was constantly looking, and posts, publishes. I was just like, just too much of everything. And I've noticed that every time I was doing the deep work, when I had this blockage, like I had this mental drainage in my head. I was like, oh, I could check my LinkedIn. So LinkedIn became my bit of drug. So I said, okay, let's just bit by bit stop doing that. And then I said, this LinkedIn is basically just my CV, but I can have my CV in, I don't know, Europass or whatever, PDF. So I can put that LinkedIn hours in working, and it's better. No special reason,
Okay.
just for
Okay.
constraining like my social, you know, you know how for me it's
No,
so easy
yeah,
to
yeah.
go like ooh, be everywhere.
No,
And
I understand completely.
yeah, yeah, and that's it. And then on my website rokmeglic.c, it's also a link to. There is one blog that I was writing in a period when I was eating just fruit, and the link is on the webpage, Fruits with Family. It's really a nice blog because you can see I'm super grateful I was honest enough to kind of um, confront myself, like you said, before. It's the hardest thing to confess with yourself, like, oh, this is bullshit, man. What are you living, And this was a nice blog, if somebody is on that path or kind of wishes to go there, there's some nice tips there where not to go, where
Okay.
they
Okay.
fail fast.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Noted. Well, Rok, this was a lovely conversation. And like
definitely.
I said in the beginning, it's really a very special one for me. I don't know, like if our viewers will see it in the same way. Probably not because they don't have my experience with what happened to me after
No,
I read that LinkedIn post of yours so many years ago. But yeah, it was a very special thing for me, and I'm really grateful that you were my guest. I'm really grateful that you decided to do this LinkedIn Live with me, and I really, really appreciate you so much for who you are and everything that you do. The holidays are coming, so I wish you and your family, your loved ones, everything the best for the holidays. Happy Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Hanukkah, everything all together, and
happy.
just all the best on the journey that you are on.
Thank you, Micha. It's likewise, it really like you said, I gave you some spark in your life. You really give me a big spark. Like you said, maybe you can sense that, but in that part of life, I really needed somebody who say, "Hey, your work was worth it," And I was like, okay, it was really a big moment for me. So yeah, thank you from my side to Micha. It was.
Well, it was
Yeah,
my pleasure.
it was a big spark from you too. Maybe just a call for you, but for me, a switch of destiny. So thank you
Perfect.
again for
Well,
sharing.
thank you. Take care.
Thank
All the best.
Take care. Bye bye.
All right. So another Monday, another amazing interview. And I really hope you guys enjoyed it just as much as I did. You know that I love bringing a little bit different topics to the table and not just staying with just the normal business talk and all that hoopla. Plus, it's December. I guess, at least for me, around Christmas, around New Year, with less phone calls and less of, the business stuff. It was always a time for the more the inner work, time with the family, and so on. So Christmas here, is it? Yeah, this week. So Merry Christmas, everybody. If you're celebrating, happy whichever holidays you're celebrating. Happy New Year to everybody. It was lovely having you here. We have another interview next Monday, last for this year. And then, of course, starting from the first Monday in January, we are continuing with these interviews. I think we have guests booked right now until mid-March or something like that. So, yeah, 2021 will be packed with Monday interviews. And I'm very grateful to each and every one of you who are watching this. Most of you are watching on the replay, but yeah, I'm really grateful for the time you're giving my guest and me by watching these videos. So I wish everybody all the best wherever you are in the world. I hope you are healthy. I hope you're safe. I hope everything is okay for you, for your loved ones, and I'll see you next Monday.